What's up, everybody? This is your girl, Miss Terrell. Thank you for stopping by Esteemed Queen Mentality. Be sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell down below so that way you get to know when we have our tea talks. As y'all can see, we have a special guest, y'all. I'm in the midst of getting things done around the house, but I had to set up shop really quick and follow up with you all, see how everything has been going. Down below, I put my secondary YouTube channel that I just started. That is down below. It should be underneath something down there saying something about my spiritual realm, but please be sure that you go over to that channel, my secondary channel, The Vivid Dreamer, and like, share, and subscribe there as well. So, and for the ones that have joined the warrior community over on our Patreon, welcome. We are all excited to have you. Everyone's been loving the podcast. It's just been a lot going on. So I feel like it's been like forever since I did one of these videos. So I wanted to talk with y'all about, I don't even know how to put it, but pretty much being triggered. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all have that time frame in our life where we say that we done moved on, you know, we done healed and swallowed the situation. We forgot all about it. And that's cool. However, just because you say you forgot about it to that person's face doesn't really mean that you fully forgotten about it and have moved on. So I want to talk about being triggered today with y'all. I think it's a really good tea talk topic. I had a tea talker reach out to me in regards to this topic, so shouts out. And I want to also put like pretty much like my 2 cents on it. So get your water, get your wine, whatever the hell it is that you sipping on. Be sure that you bring it to the table. So she wants to talk about being triggered. All right. So for me, how I understand it from her, you know, pretty much someone does something they can't let go. All right. I honestly understand that from a human perspective. I don't care what church you in, Pentecostal, Baptist, Christian, it don't matter. We all have issues with forgiveness. Hell, loans got issues with forgiveness when you don't pay it. You feel me? So I want to talk about forgiveness and trigger in kind of like a analogy form, because I had experience not that long ago where I had to really check myself in regards to me really believing that like I've let something go, or I have something that I still need to learn from it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really interesting. So pretty much my perspective is this, like, this is kind of like my backstory. So, me and a friend of mine were out riding or whatever, over the weekend, and he turned to me and said, you know, sometimes people forget that age really does make a difference. And when he said it makes a difference, he meant in a proactive or reactive state. It's almost like being triggered and forgiveness, like they work together. If you forgave someone, you probably won't be easily triggered. Whereas if you're easily triggered, it's not so much of you needing to give forgiveness. I'm a big believer in you allowing time to sort out your forgiveness, because sometimes the very people that you crying over, they don't give a fuck about you no more. They done moved on you 6, 7, 10, 12, 13, 16, 395 other people other than you. You were practice. You know what I'm saying? Like, it happens. However, it comes to that time where you understand, you realize, like, look, time has sorted this shit out. There's no forgiveness that you need from me, from my end, and I don't give a damn about yours that you trying to send over here. If it was really that important, you would have said what you needed to say when you had all those other times to say it. Now you got something to say, and I don't give a damn, and you don't see me standing there wanting to hear it. It's because I didn't ask you. You feel me? Like, we have to gain an understanding as to, like, if we're triggered, do we need to forgive, or do we need to check ourselves? So, like I said, over the weekend, we were out and about. And so he was just like, you know, some people just feel as if like they can always just be like they're 18, 19 years old. They go out here, sling a couple of fists, and then they come back home and they just go to sleep. Like, they don't need no Epsom salt, no Bengay, no icy hot, no prayer, no olive oil. They don't need nothing. They just do that, get up, do it every single day. But with age comes maturity. And, at some point you have to become a real adult. And when you become a real adult, you do come across the crossroads of being triggered and forgiveness, because they are relatable. Like, they're cousins to one another. Again, like I said for the third time, going out for a drive. And when he said that to me, I was just like, I understand, but sometimes some people need to be put in a place. Like, sometimes people need to be made an example out of. Now, that can go verbally or that can go physically, but it all depends. Every case is not the same. He's just like, well, it doesn't make you a weak person if you walked away. And within that moment in my head, I could have sworn I committed vehicular manslaughter, because I was seriously feeling like, I was like, what? Needless to say, he didn't come off. He wasn't being offensive. It was just the point of what he was saying is, in translation to the spiritual realm of it, is just being, you need to understand there's a crossroads between being triggered and forgiving. And for me, in that time frame, in that situation, in that place, it wasn't so much of me being angry about what he said. It wasn't a thing about me feeling as if like, you know what I'm saying? You just want me to be pussy. Like, it wasn't like that. It was just him honestly telling me in a spiritual way, like, your mentality has elevated to where you don't have to resort to those type of lows to be able to get things done. So with him in my head triggering me, I had to check myself and say, for me to feel as if like, you feel that way, this person feels as if like it makes you a stronger person to walk away. But the trigger in that for me was him not understanding or me not communicating to him. Like, I've walked away many a time, many a decade, many a year, from many a friend, from many a person, from many a pet. And what I'm saying? Like, even with walking away, I realized in that moment that it has its own brutality with it. There's like a undertone of abuse and brutality that comes with wanting to walk away. Like, don't think just because someone walks away, it didn't cost them anything. You feel me? Like, everybody has a right to like feel if so happens they don't, they're not appreciated. If you you don't treat people like that, but they treat you like that instead of you giving it back to them, you walk away. You got to understand there's still a feeling that comes with that. There's still a feeling that comes with walking away. And the feeling that we have to get to understanding is, and it means you got to pull in deep, and you have to understand that sometimes with them triggers, those triggers are like pop quizzes to your forgiveness. Because as much as I understood where he was coming from now, being that I'm older, sometimes you're just going to have that feeling like, yo, that's not always going to work. But with realizing that that doesn't always work, I learned that, yeah, there's a difference between a battle and a war. And there's a difference between triggers and forgiveness. And triggers really help dissect where it is that you've gained an understanding and where you still got some growing to do. And just for me in that moment, I just felt like, you know what? I don't have an issue with what you said. I don't have an issue with your mindset as to, being a bigger person. You worked that hard, you might as well be. The issue, the beef that I had with being triggered, I think honestly has something to do with understanding growth. You feel me? Like, I just feel like it bothered me when he first said it. But then when I had to sit there and think about it, it's like, yeah, but guess what? For you to understand, like, you don't like walking away and you don't like confrontation, but yet you're standing beside people in your group that are telling you that you have better things to do with your time and you don't need to be dealing with the stupid shit. that goes to show you how much you really do care about yourself. Because instead of you having to fight between two evils, you removed yourself from the situation in its entirety. And now how I felt back then about not always needing to be physically confrontational, now it comes into a practice where he's right. You don't always have to pop off. But that doesn't mean that you have to trigger someone to see if they will or they won't. In the words of my stepmom, I'm always happy. Just don't make me upset. And it's the truth. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, don't put yourself in the equation to have to be triggered. Because once that damn trigger is set off, aimed and fired, there's no coming back from it. For some of us, there's no coming back from it. Some of us don't know how to understand, like, words have crossroads for you to, check where your mental is. So that way, you're not out here doing the same stupid shit. So it may hurt, but it's part of the process. And with part of the process, at some point at those intersections, you see your grown you and you see the you that's still learning as a child. Are you going to leave that behind and go forward with what you know because you know better? Or are you going to keep on reloading your, keep continuing using ammunition and you still shooting blanks? You know what I'm saying? Like, if a trigger is supposed to pierce you to be stronger, I think it did its job. You know what I'm saying? So I had to take a step back, look at my circle, appreciate my circle, because though, yes, we're older, yes, we're entrepreneurs, yes, we have something to live for, yes, we have something to stand by, but that does not mean a person who is successful does not pay attention to the details. How else will they get there? So check your triggers and just make sure they're, like, triggers are checkpoints. You feel me? If old girl that's in the next cubicle beside you always talking loud, are you nosy or is she minding her business? You know what I'm saying? You got to think about it. Just saying. You told someone that you don't like something, but someone keeps doing it. Okay, you need to think about that. Instead of you fighting two evils, get your shit and get the hell out. You feel me? So that's all I have for right now, y'all. I hope that helps someone. Be sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell down below. And go over to my secondary channel, The Vivid Dreamer. I just started that channel. I've had that channel for a minute, but I didn't know what to do with it. And so I'm in the midst of doing a couple of different business ventures. And one of them is like one of my entertainment projects, like card game projects. And so I'm over there pretty much doing what are called channel thought messages. So anytime like I feel as if like there's a thought that I can't grab in my head, I actually go to that channel and do those practices for me to kind of like dissect a couple of different things that I'm thinking about, etc., etc. Sometimes the messages are not for me. Sometimes they are. But either way you look at it, I don't want to stay in one spot when it comes to this type of channel. I want to be able to have extensions and branches. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's roots here at Esteemed Queen in a mentality, but one of my branches is the Vivid Dreamer. So I will see y'all in my next video, and y'all take care, cover your mouths, wash your asses, and be back. Bye.
The depths of the media sees no evil. Buildings crashing 9/11, no sake for the people. Children take to everything. Others willing to feel anything just to say they were there. Boyfriends, girlfriends, husbands, wives, domestic violence. Do you care? When the curtains close, your head hangs low. You're wishing someone was there. Just turn to me for relief. I know how you feel. I am you. You are me. We share symptoms of the black sheep. Aren't you aware?
This image, I remember howling winds, nights trying to hustle to 10 degrees, ash on my knuckles, coke Coke in my long john, sipping on the breast. A tall glass of nigga, please, we get a sip of this. Coke in my long john, slave to the sin. Call me young coke there if the cops try to frisk. I may get a grip, I may get a grip. I may slapping 20s, lots of tails and some shrimp. I used to bump Wayne all day as a pimp, now I'm past Wayne Drake and going in.